Hi, I'm Yvette Brown, co-founder of X Promos Marketing Mastery, and I am here with my business partner of over 30 years, Sherry Nomady, and Kathy Parks, creator of the Parks Method of Selling to Retail Stores. Together, the three of us are launching Sell to Stores on Demand later this month to teach inventors how to successfully sell their product to retailers. We actually began this training when the pandemic hit. So we are now actually seeing in real time how retailers are adapting to COVID. Kathy, can you give us an overview of what you're seeing out there in real life right now?
Sure. I think the easiest example of how retailers are changing in the pandemic is the increase in online sales. Amazon, Walmart.com, and many other key online sites have seen exponential growth. But they aren't just shipping tons of product. They're continuing to find ways to make the experience better for their shoppers, and especially for their new online shoppers. Promoted product, faster delivery, fewer out of stocks, and more local warehouses are all making service better.
That's so true, Kathy. And consumers, in particular, the millennials, they're looking for personalized product. And as a result, retailers have reacted with a deluge of personalized marketing messages. As we all know, based on the messages that we see today on our phones, on our computers, our TVs, social media has become a key marketing vehicle to communicate personalized marketing messages to everyone.
That's absolutely true. And with the rise of online retailers as we've seen, Kathy, are you surprised that brick and mortar is holding up as well as they have against competitors like Amazon?
Not really. You see, Amazon is realizing that it's a challenge to launch brands solely online. Consumers are more likely to try a new brand or product if they see it in the stores, where they can directly compare it to the competition. As a result, we're seeing online-centric companies going omni-channel with efforts like opening Amazon Go stores and looking for warehouse space to purchase in order to feature their brand launches.
That's true. And in fact, rumor has it that J.C. Penney store locations are a likely place for future Amazon owned brand launch sites in the coming years.
Yeah, and of course, it's interesting to note that the Amazon Whole Foods partnership really kicked off this merging of online and brick and mortar, what we now call omnichannel.
Yep. And additionally, other online only brands are starting to create pop-up shops because they realize that the online only is really not the perfect retail solution.
Whole Foods has some challenges. Self-serve was a key feature in their stores in addition to in-store dining. Neither are desirable or will be for quite some time. So they have gotten creative. They're planning to launch in-store greenhouses where consumers can actually pick the produce while in the store. That type of innovation will keep them in business.
That's a really great innovation, and it's certainly telling to see retailers taking risks. We see now that creating new experiences are really what you need to bring shoppers back and kind of change their behavior. Retailers are going to have to find reasons for consumers to come and visit.
Mhm. Curbside pickup, it's a relatively new shopping behavior. And as a result of the pandemic, one national US retailer is seeing a 700% increase in this type of shopping. The expectation is for it to be reduced after the pandemic, but right now, there are no estimates of just how far it will reduce. It's a great convenience for consumers to be able to order online and get product same day without going into a store.
It is for the arduous shopping task. I would say that's a win.
Totally. Now, what about store pickup? You guys know I have my own thoughts on this, but where do you come, the kind of thing where you come into the stores to pick up items that you ordered online?
Mhm. It's definitely considered a winning strategy for the retailers, and that trend is growing. They're hoping that while consumers come into the store to pick up their orders, they'll shop for additional items.
And I totally get that strategy, but I personally would caution retailers to be more cognizant of the customer experience. I have been to some retailers where the in-store pickup is way in the back of the retail store. You have to navigate through all the departments to get there, and I know that's the idea, but in the end, using that tactic wasn't nearly as quick or convenient as I expected. And for me, I would not opt for that um, execution again with that retailer.
Well, that's true, Yvette, but that is an extreme example. And what's interesting is that by offering multiple options, retailers really are better customizing the retail experience, which was actually the goal to begin with, right?
That's correct, Sherry.
So, what are some of the other retail winners in the pandemic?
Certain product categories are up, such as personal care items like nail polish and hair dye, since people are now doing it at home rather than going to a salon. One national retailer is taking advantage of this by putting a store within a store in about half of their locations. The two retailers are Target and Ulta. Ulta sales are down, and the Target personal care sales are up. So this is a win-win for both these retailers and for consumers who can enjoy Ulta-style shopping within a mass merchandiser.
I love a good collaboration. And when you got to think that you've never happened so quickly if it weren't for this pandemic, it's definitely a case of extreme situations creating unexpected opportunities.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Sherry. And so, Kathy, for you, I have one final question. Although we're hearing positive news on a vaccine, we've certainly got a ways to go. So, what else are you seeing retailers doing to get people in the door?
Well, the most important thing they're doing is providing new and innovative product that's exciting enough to bring consumers back. And that has been a huge focus for the buyers. They're also doing all they can to encourage consumers to feel safe enough to come through the doors and into the stores. Clear barriers at checkout, floor signs encouraging one-way traffic, and specifying where to stand in line to check out all help. And the mask mandates communicated with large signs at the doors are a source of comfort. Displays are moved out of aisles to allow 6 feet of distance for shoppers. They have cleaning stations by the shopping carts with employees ready to hand out disinfectant wipes and help shoppers clean their carts before going in. All of these efforts are drawing consumers back into the stores. And these safety measures can stay in effect as long as it takes to build consumer confidence after the pandemic crisis is lessened or gone.
And that investment is coming with some hard dollar cost, but it is being balanced in part by an increase in customer satisfaction. But again, what we are seeing is that major retailers are showing their staying power, which means there exists a huge opportunity for inventors to connect with them so they can drive revenue for both parties. And if you want to learn more, register for our free live webinar on discovering how inventors successfully sell to stores. It is now open for registration, and we are dropping the link below in the description.